Hello and welcome into the SorareAndrews podcast brought to you by Sorare Data. I am Andrew Laird. You can find me as Lairdinho on Sorare. Joined as always by Andy Black, who you can find Black on Sorare. Not in the office today. Sorry to ZM Star who guessed. Thank you to everyone for joining us live. I see Danny Bram says he was first, even though he wasn't. That went to Zootert. But yeah, thank you guys for joining us. If you guys could please hit the like button, that's always very nice of you. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, get going on that. We're talking about coins today. So coins, I believe we're calling them, which why
just
not?
Rolls right off the tongue, doesn't it?
SoCo? Can we call it SoCo? Or is Southern Comfort already take that? And we just
I think, yeah, a lot of bad memories there.
Yeah, it's probably good. It's like a weird taste in my mouth right now just thinking about Southern Comfort.
So, you say anyway. SoCo and I get that aftertaste.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're here to talk about the announcement yesterday that I feel like Sean and I talked a little bit about on Monday, and Sean has pulled a total 180 on the club shop. He was so against it, thought it was incredibly stupid, and they were like, hey, do you want to use SoCoins to win jerseys? And he's like, I love this. Let's go. So he's not here to defend himself. I'm sure by Monday he will somehow figure out a way to twist this and pretend like he was for the club shop the whole time. But
nice.
But alas, he's not here. So yeah, we are going to just go through the announcement because I think it's worth doing. Because I think it might, I don't know if it changes a whole lot of the actual gameplay experience, but I think it might. And I think there are people in the chat who are going to tell us why. Because I've seen some theories, because in classic Sorare fashion, we don't have all the details yet, but we'll get there. So I was saying to Andy before we started here that I wanted to pull up the announcement, and so I went to go to do that, and I wasn't quite sure where to go.
Oh, it shows up on that little bell icon, I think, right?
So it normally does. It does. The problem is that when you are like me and you're trying to sell cards, you get a lot of notifications about the ones offers and all that stuff. Thank you to the three people who bought these cards that I was desperately trying to sell. But then the view all incoming activity is still just that stuff.
Oh, wait. What about news? If you click on the news next to it.
Oh, there it is. Honestly, I had no idea.
I knew it all.
I didn't even know that news button existed.
Neither did I.
So thank you for that, for walking me through that. I did want to make a quick joke to start where I saw this upgrade your rewards, and I thought it was a one button swap request. And I was like, oh my gosh, they're like really going in it. But it's not. It's just telling you to buy limited cards so you can compete for better rewards. But anyway, so hold on. View all incoming activity and then news. Here we go. Club Shop 2.0. Andy, they're excited. Are you excited?
I don't want to get the cart before the horse or whatever, but I am disappointed that I don't see anything about achievements in here. I want achievements.
Well, they sort of said something about it.
Yeah, they said they're going away.
Well,
temporarily remove. I'm sorry.
Well, I think they're just being replaced, right? Because whatever things we have now are being replaced. And you get more coins by performing well in fantasy competitions or completing gameplay challenges. Isn't that what achievements are?
Yeah, sure.
They're not going anywhere.
Wait, you said gameplay achievements?
Gameplay challenges.
Challenges. Yeah, I don't know. That
Which
might not be
directly taken from Top Shot, but
yeah, like
what could go wrong there? Anyway,
it's different than the achievements that they kind of had, where it's like buy 10 players that have the same serial number or something.
Yeah. So, how do I get to mine? Here we go. because I apparently don't have that many So coins. So I have to buy another card of the same player. Why would I want that?
Why wouldn't you want that is the real question.
I mean, honestly, though, why would I want 5 cards of the same player? Collect 100 different players with the same nationality. I'm not remotely close to that. 20 cards with matching shirt and serial numbers. I'm surprised I have 8, to be honest. And then I did all these others. Yeah, none of these got me going, but I think the new club shop is supposed to get me going here.
Okay.
So I had one immediate response when I started hearing about this, because I actually was like away from my computer and phone yesterday for most of the day. And I like finally was like, all right, let me like check in on what's going on. And it was the classic like meme of the guy like walking in with the pizza box and everything's on fire. But like not everything was on fire, but like I had like 300 messages. Then I was like, oh, clearly something happened today. And it was all about this club shop. And so I started reading into it. And as soon as I saw the word boosts, I was like, oh no. Oh no. Because I used to play, I would sporadically play Sorare Mega. And as soon as they introduced those, like, use your coins to put boots on somebody, I was like, okay, I'm out. Like, this is moving further away from a fantasy game and more into like a video game. And I didn't want that.
You didn't want a Fred Emmings with a wizard hat and a wizard robe?
So like,
and maybe a magic wand?
No, I don't. None of those are allowed on a football pitch, Andy. And so I didn't want that.
He's casting fireballs at the other team.
Right. I don't want that. I simply put, I don't want that. And
well, you're not me, so
yeah. Well, you can go play Sorare Mega and do that. So I'm just going to read this because hopefully I just misunderstood it, but I actually had like a few follow-up questions to it that I'm sure you'll be able to answer since you don't work at Sorare. Our first gameplay item reward, called Boosts, will allow you to instantly level up your cards for extra bonus points, increase the number of training teams you can line up, and much more. And then classically, Boosts will be available and explained in more detail in the next couple of weeks. We have many more boosts in the works and look forward to rolling those out. So I read like one thing and I was like, oh, I don't like the sound of this. And I was like, well, maybe they'll explain it. And then the second part was like, okay, you'll find out in a few weeks. And I was like, well, that doesn't sound great. And then the third was like, don't worry, we got a ton of them. This is going to be great. And I'm scared, Andy. I really don't want to have to use my So coins to boost my players on a certain week. And like, again, is it a 1 week boost? Is it like, can I get to level 20 with 800,000 coins? Oh, and then the way we found out how the coins are accumulated, that all of the whales are able to get their coins fast. They get more coins so they can use them fast. Oh, so now their cards, which I'm competing against in like Rare and Rare Pro, now their XPs are going to be higher. And now I'm just, I hate all
So, I agree with all of what you just said. One of your coworkers, how do you say his Twitter handle? Vitali?
Yeah. I meant to like pull up that tweet actually. Thank you for.
Yeah. So he put out a tweet where basically it showed how many coins some of the biggest whales on the platform would have earned on particular weeks. And like You'll Never Walk Alone, 16,000 last game week. Pal Trader, 18,000 last game week. Roxy, 21,000. Nanzo, 23,000. And I get you got to reward your biggest users, but you have to be really, really freaking careful about, how you're going to offer these boosts. And there's got to be like a limit or something, like where, you can only purchase one boost or something per game week, or I mean, and that's even with the assumption that it's going to work a particular way. We have no idea how this is going to work. They just have to be really, really, really careful in how it's implemented. I'm fine with it. I think that it could be it could be implemented in a way that makes sense, and I'd be all right with it, but just be really careful.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. I think the lack of detail is leaving us like this happens sometimes where like they announce something
And then
and they don't
people
give us any
freak out.
details and I'm freaking out right now, and then in a few weeks they're like, oh no, this is it, and everyone's like, oh, that's not so bad, and it would have just been helpful to have that now. But so there were a few, because again, we don't have any details specifically. Not that I know of. If I'm missing like a detail that was announced in like a random Discord chat room somewhere, please feel free to send that along. But like I've seen that you can do like these XP boosts are actually just like, oh, you can get another training team. And like those guys get more, like it's not that easy to like level up in XP. Like they're only 20. And if these people, Roxy and Nanzo, are able to like get cards to level 20 in 5 weeks, that's not fair. And I feel like the response is like, just play the cap competitions. There's no XP there anyway. I'm like, no, that's not the point. Like, and so it is weird that they have this thing where like, grow your XP and also play these contests that have no XP, but don't worry. I don't know. It's, I don't know.
Yeah. So the other thing that scares me is not scares me. That's a bad way of putting this, but the balance and equity. Like, yes, whales and big accounts should be rewarded with more things because they pump more money into the platform. But then again, I mean, if you make a so rare hat, 100,000 so coins, and someone like Pal Trader can get a so rare hat in 5 weeks, cool. But now you have some new players on the platform, and they want to get that same hat, and it's like, yeah, it'll be 12 years before you can get that hat. Like that doesn't really make sense. So they have to find a balance there somehow, and I don't know how they're going to do it, to be honest.
I don't know why I found that so funny, but my God, I found that hilarious.
Yeah,
no,
and also we're going to run into a situation where Pal Trader can go after the Harrier jet that Nicholas is going to put out there as a joke, and just like, was it Pepsi or Coke that did that? One of them, I don't know. That's what I want to see.
So when you saw that where was that announcement? Somebody also just pointed out that I don't follow Pavel on Twitter. So
look at that.
There we go.
Right before our eyes.
People may have heard that I'm slow to follow people on Twitter. Shout out Nep, go follow him too. So where was this announcement? Here we go. So I liked that, like I liked everything until the boosts, where it was, over the coming weeks, we'll introduce new items to the club shop, including jerseys, signed kits, tickets, Sorare merch, exclusive skins, Sorare data memberships, and gameplay strategy items. And that's when I was like, what does that mean? And then I kept reading and I was like, oh, this is terrible. I don't want this at all. But I think the other stuff is really cool. I probably wouldn't use my coins for that. Like the more I read, the more I'm like, yeah, I would just use all of my coins for XP. Like jerseys are cool, tickets are cool, and I realize I like people like that kind of stuff. But once you start making it about like how your cards perform in these competitions, like you're at a huge disadvantage if you are using your coins to get a Sorare hat, unless you play Cap 240, I guess.
Or if there's a limit on the number of like boosts that you can buy.
Sure.
So if it's like you can only buy one boost per week or per game week or whatever, then sure, save up the rest for something.
It's still really, I feel like it just
else.
adds up. It's just such an advantage for the whales.
Maybe it could be. We have no idea. Because we still don't know what this even is. It's like a vague announcement that gets everybody speculating. And in fact, I think that this is like you said earlier, it's one of their big problems. They come out with a vague announcement and then everybody's minds wander into what this could be, and everybody has their own their own opinion of what they think it's going to be. So 10 people think 10 different things and it creates a lot of like drama.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Sorare data memberships are pretty cool as a prize.
Yeah. So Ben here in chat, thanks for joining, Ben. So can you talk on how the agreement for them to reward Sorare data memberships happened? No, it had nothing to do with it. And
I thought you were going to say they didn't ask us.
No, I have. It's not that I'm not allowed to speak on it. I just I have no details. I don't know how it came about. I know that they've heard of our site, and I think they know that we're beneficial to the community. And instead of just buying every user a Sorare data membership, they're going to do this instead. But I would prefer that they just bought everyone one, to be honest.
Yeah.
But that's a totally selfish response because I work here.
Pump the stock.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want them to buy Sorare data. I want them to buy everybody's Sorare data memberships. Simple. Hatsuna said, today's the first time I do draft teams for amateur mode so that I don't miss out on the coins. So that's the other thing. I've seen some screenshots of like exactly how you can win coins. Is it in like the prize pool? Oh, here we go. Okay. So I get 40 coins in the amateur. So like, yeah, I mean, it obviously like makes you play more. So I guess that's great. What do I get? Let's see what I cap no, I don't play 270. I play 240. How many coins do I get here, Andy? That seems like a lot. 400 coins if I make threshold. Although who knows if that's a lot, to be honest, because we don't know what they charge for the new banners that they're going to have.
I don't think I'm going to be doing very much buying of banners with some of the other things that are going to be available.
Which is a change because you have already used some of your coins for a banner.
That I'm a little salty about because we've talked about it. It's the Ukraine banner. But yeah, I don't know.
Salty that you have a Ukraine banner, which by the way, doesn't look like you have anymore.
No, I took it off. Yeah, out of protest.
Out of protest? Okay. That makes sense. Hall of Fame gets me every time.
You know what's funny? I bought the Jizz Horncamp unique.
Yeah, where's that?
I haven't added it to the Hall of Fame yet.
Man.
I've been slacking.
I'm surprised it didn't just automatically do it. Oscar's asking if we keep existing coins. The answer is kind of. They're going to like convert them into something less.
I saw Paul say on Twitter that there's a mathematical formula that will that they're going to apply to everyone's account.
Yeah. Do you think it's just coins divided by 2? I mean,
yeah, it's something like that. Yeah. I think it'll be some pre-algebra type of equation.
It would be fun if it was different for everybody.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Based on what?
Yeah, who knows? When you joined?
Yeah, some complex algorithm.
Well, they did say something about like benefiting managers from like people who have been. Oh, how the hell do I get to this thing again? Why can't we just put it on the homepage? Here we go. News. Because I thought there was something about. Yes, please note we plan to celebrate and thank managers who are key parts of the Sorare legacy and joined before the most recent gameplay updates surrounding common cards. We'll share more in the next Club Shop update. Surely that means that everyone who had old common cards is theirs is coins divided by 2, and ours is coins divided by 1.5.
Like,
Right.
I just don't see the need for them to even like do that, but okay.
Ben in chat is saying he thinks we're going to be able to sell our old commons for coins. I don't think so. And then where was the other one? Manuel said they have to charge a lot for jerseys because it's not possible that 50,000 users can buy a signed shirt. Agreed with that. I actually saw somebody brought this up. I can't remember where, so I apologize for just taking credit for the idea of auctioning these things, like auctioning the shirts based on the coins that you have.
Yeah, that's
I kind of
fun.
like that idea. I think that's actually like a really cool idea.
Yeah.
But obviously, then again, it mimics Sorare because it's like, oh, I want this jersey, and Nanzo's like, me too, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not getting the jersey.
Yeah. Huh.
I like the idea. I think it'd be really funny if you finally got like enough coins. You were like, all right, I got my 200 coins. I would really like a Sorare hat, and they were like, oh, sorry, Pavel has all the hats.
Yeah.
He just took them all.
Tom with a good shout too. It could be a raffle, which is actually is another brilliant idea where I guess it's still not equitable really, but it gives I don't know. It doesn't just allow the whales to buy up everything. They have a better shot, but yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I think that's good. So the one thing that I struggle with their announcement here, it also said the club shop and coins revamp is not bold and italicized, not meant to replace overall rewards, nor have any impact on the current market. So the problem is that any gameplay, anything that has to do with gameplay is like will reflect in the rewards. Like people who use coins to get XP are going to potentially win better rewards because now their cards are scoring more points. Or players, I guess high XP cards are already more, well, they're not always more expensive, but if 2 cards are the same, you're going to buy the one that has higher XP. So I guess maybe it doesn't like impact the current market that much, but I don't know. I feel like this does affect rewards and maybe the market. I don't actually know that. Maybe not. If I can't think of the way that it affects the market, then maybe it doesn't.
Yeah. I mean, I guess somebody might be more inclined to like play wider, play more competitions to accumulate more coins. I don't know.
You're definitely going to
Submit junk
enter things
lineups.
that you wouldn't have normally. Like, do you automatically get coins? Like All-Star Limited, yeah, you score more than 100 points. So like, yeah, maybe
you're throwing a team in there.
I'll buy a DNP goalie to put in a Champion Asia team because if I score 100 points with the 3 guys I have, yeah, 50 more coins.
Yeah, I mean, like this game week, I didn't submit a limited all-star lineup because I only had like 3 players that would have played, and I probably just should have honestly submitted it anyways, but I didn't. But like in this case, I would have won probably some 100 coins or something.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I assume everyone does this now, and we'll just make those people who are like, oh, it's so much harder to win rewards now, while ignoring that most of those lineups are dead and they're just here for.
Do you get coins in every competition, like even the capped modes and stuff?
I think so.
Man.
Yeah.
And then it's progressively more like, what does it look like in the super rare division? Is it like,
so cap 270, you get 100 coins for going over 100 points. But 240, I think that is only 50. I think I remember them saying or something about how the higher scarcity gives you more coins. I don't know why cap 270 would be different than the others. That's the same. I don't know, Andy.
What about like the super rare division? Like just like super rare all-star or something?
Yeah, it's more.
A little bit more.
Score 100 in super rare and you get 200 coins. Do you think that it's complex enough I'm not even going to ask that. Never mind. I was going to
You
say
asked half the question. Go on.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, if you X or coins, so coins earned in super rare competitions can only have the XP apply to super rare cards. So it's not like I can get 200 so coins and then use those to like boost my limiteds. But there's no way that they're going to differentiate that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Gabriel's asking if you can trade coins. The answer is no.
That would be a big problem.
It's a huge no.
Like,
coins
imagine
which
all
cannot
the
be bought, sold, or redeemed for cash or ETH. I guess that doesn't say trade.
You better not be able to trade them, because then the number of multi accounts and like remember all the the referral scams that we were seeing. Like, people will do that for coins
for sure. Yeah,
especially if you can get coins with like common lineups and stuff.
They should definitely add the word trade in there if you can't trade them.
Yeah,
because that is a big word that is not missing. I mean, that is missing. Excuse me, that is not included. I mean, it's a short word relatively.
Yeah,
but
I get the idea that it's probably not like you can't, but be specific, I guess.
I wonder if the language, I'm not going to look it up, for common cards says the same. That common cards can't be bought or sold.
Yeah. Or redeemed for cash.
Right. There was I got called out for me talking about XP advantages while running a full Russian stack this upcoming game week.
You got a full Russian stack, huh?
I could run one, yes. And they're all like 14% XP.
I may have cursed at Josh Forth for after seeing one of the lineups that he was about to submit this coming game week. I was pretty unhappy that Russia's back.
Yeah. It's bad enough that like all the Wendell and Douglas Santos and Malcolm cards come back. But when you're like, 90%, 90 points times 14% XP, and you're just like, all right. Yeah. I just hope everybody plays them in Challenger like an idiot. I don't think they will, though. So do you think you will buy any cards to get dead lineups in to get so coins?
I don't need to buy cards to do that. I've got 100 Fred Emmings. I'm in good shape right now for that.
You can't use Fred in Champion Asia Limited. So do you buy like a?
I got like 3 Asian Limited goalkeepers.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, okay. We're in good shape for this.
You're like a whale.
These Sorare coins are going to be raining from the sky.
I don't know how much.
Or so coins will be raining from the sky.
Why do you think this one costs 1.1 ETH?
Someone obviously did something silly.
In what world? Everything else seems... Well, never mind. They're not reasonable at all. It's... anyway, I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't know. I guess... I mean, I already have tons of dead lineups every week anyway. So what's a few more?
Yeah.
That's the point of this game, isn't it?
I imagine it's not going to make a ton of sense to ever buy somebody to win the 100 coins or 50 coins or whatever for greater than 100 score. Like, I think in the grand scheme of things, 50 or 100 so coins is going to be like nothing, but it's, it all adds up over time. So
yeah. This is kind of changing topics slightly, and probably one that we shouldn't touch, but here we are. What do you think about them announcing that they're going to have other stuff, including an entire roadmap in the coming months?
I mean, that's good. They should have a roadmap that's public and that people can see.
Should they?
I think they should. It doesn't have to be specific, but just like like in general, it would have been cool to know that they were working on like the club shop stuff, and the only way that anybody knew was they would like drop hints at it, or that like they had mentioned this club shop experience getting updated before.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was like a Nicholas tweet or something, but Like if you're already going to make that public, then have it on a roadmap somewhere. So just people have like, oh yeah, Q3 they're going to drop a club shop, or achievements they're gunning for whatever. Uh, and also like it gives you a good idea too of like, are they hitting deadlines? Are they meeting deadlines? Like me as like somebody that has a lot of money in the platform, I think that that's good information to know. Like I'm happy to know that, but um, I don't know that it's in like if it makes a ton of sense for them to share it.
Mhm.
But if they're hitting deadlines, they should share it.
I thought it was funny because I feel like they tend to say things like this, something like, "Yeah, we'll update you again in a few months," or like, "Oh yeah, we have something coming by the end of this week," and now they're like, "The existing banners and badges will be removed at 7 a.m. Eastern on Friday."
Yeah.
Like the most specific times that we can get. I also can't think of anything that could go wrong with having all the new banners and badges available for purchase right at the game week deadline. But
Yeah, that might
maybe wait an
I don't know.
hour, make sure
Yeah.
everything's
I don't
working.
know.
But anyway, uh, no, I think this is important. One of the things that like Sean and I talked about on Monday was just like, I think this stuff is important, like giving people the ability to like personalize their galleries and stuff like that. And like he is only here for the monetary benefits. And so I understood that he didn't find any value in that.
He is
But
a very, very unique case. I mean, just Sean in general is a, a unique person, and he's
yeah,
different than
that's right.
99% of the platform. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, I think that a lot of people are into that sort of stuff. I don't know that like I'm not going to totally geek out on it, but like I think it's kind of fun to fool around with, and yeah, like
I
I'm
mean, you
definitely going to
obviously
screw.
do. You spent coins already.
Yeah, we'll definitely screw around when they have cool stuff that's not a hamburger and a watermelon. What were we thinking? Those were like clip arts out of Microsoft Word.
That was weird to me.
Do they? Is it still there? Can you
Sure
still see
is.
the?
Yeah.
Let's go through some of these. Oh,
These are the
what is that? A
skins.
crayon? Look, we have a crayon, and it's data driven too.
No,
Data
no,
driven with a
no, no,
crayon.
no, no, no. That's a marker. It's a marker.
Dry erase.
It's a
Okay.
dry erase marker. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. A
I don't
band-aid.
know. This seems like super weird to me. This like bloody band-aid and broken bone.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's not even an ice pack.
No ice packs.
And then, yeah, all of the country ones.
There's no USA
No,
one.
there's not. And then, yeah, there's these other Ike Spartan
What do you think about the one that just says fur? It's up.
fur.
Yeah, right there, fur. It's orange. You went past it down a little bit. Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
You own it.
oh, I do. Why does this one say equipped? Oh, that's the one I have now. Is that
Yeah.
right? How do I get to my page again?
Uh,
Oh yeah, okay,
yeah.
I
There
have
we
that
go.
one. I wonder why I chose that. Anyway, and then there's these other. There's the hamburger.
Yeah, a hamburger and a beach ball. Oh, a pizza slice. You know, I'm a big pizza guy. Big pizza guy. Like that
Yeah,
thick crust.
I apparently went with the Thunderbolt myself. It was probably free. I don't know.
Like that
I don't
was
know.
very lazy. Very
Um,
lazy. And it was just kind of like a proof of concept, like, hey, we can do this. And we'll invest more in it in the future. But whew,
Hachini said they bought the hamburger and the watermelon today.
congratulations.
Can you?
Which I was
Sorry,
gonna say, which one are you gonna equip, Hatch?
I was gonna say like, you can only do one.
Yeah.
Like you can only show one. Like I wonder if you wake up and you're like, it feels like a watermelon day. Let me update that over on the old
Maybe there should
Sorare.
be some automation built around this to where like on Tuesdays I'm a watermelon, and on like Wednesdays it's hamburger day. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, the pizza and the watermelon are literally the same. They're just different,
They
like.
are.
So obviously a revolution. Oh, Baptiste nailed it. I don't think they have a taco though, do they?
I don't think so. Big whiff there.
No taco for Taco Tuesday. Seriously, that is a big whiff. Maybe because they don't have the full Liga MX license. I bet.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's got to be it.
Yeah. What are we doing? So these are going away. Well, actually, I don't know if they're going away. I guess you could probably still.
Maybe they'll leave the watermelon and hamburger forever. Like, just kind of like as an inside joke, they'll keep those two.
I'm not sure it's a joke. That's the problem, Andy. That's the problem. Where do these even go? Is it like your?
It's like,
it's like right here.
It's no. Well, okay. I thought it was
That's where it
else.
goes. So this thing right here would be like you could make that a watermelon or a hamburger for 500 coins, and I have 66,000. It just seems like a poor waste of or a poor use of funds.
Well, we're both lightning bolts. We're like brothers.
That's how people know we know each other because we both use the lightning bolt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it right now before they take away the club shop. I am gonna buy the hamburger, and I'm gonna not only just buy the hamburger. I'm gonna equip the hamburger. I'm a burger guy now.
Do you think people are going to be? You know, it would be fun.
You got to refresh that.
Fun. This is not a real idea. It would be fun if you could see everyone else who uses the lightning bolt or the hamburger to know that you're all on team hamburger. It's going to be sad when you realize there it is.
It's beautiful.
It's going to be sad when you're like 500 coins short now of whatever jersey you wanted to get.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, now I'm zoomed in. Yeah. There we go. All right, so you got the hamburger. What did that cost you? 500, we said?
Yeah, 500 coins.
I still have
100 and not to flex or anything, but I still have 114,500 so coins. So
is that the calculation? Public? It doesn't look like it. I can't see how many so coins you have. I only have 66,000. I was actually kind of surprised at some people who how do I say this nicely? I guess I'm not going to. Who have much smaller galleries than me, but have more so coins. I've never spent one.
Yeah. Well, clearly, because you have the Thunderbolt, loser.
Yes. Black's Hall of Fame is a good time. So you can have fun on Sorare without just playing lineups. Have you guys clicked on the network button yet? Hover over home and look at it. I have clicked on this. And I think it just replaces the following and follows, right? I mean, it's not.
I think it's a miss from the perspective that like maybe it should show something live, like their best lineup or something, their highest ranking lineup this game week or something. I don't know. Just showing the Hall of Fame is kind of weird.
I thought that was a thing already, that you could see everyone you follow like in All-Star Rare. That existed at some point, I'm sure. Yeah. So yeah, the recommended's all the pro footballers. I don't like that it's showing their Hall of Fame since most of them are not using it.
Does Sebastian Haller, does he still play? Like, because at some point he was dabbling.
Yeah, he's back.
Yeah.
Oh, play Sorare.
No, Sorare. Yeah.
SH11. Let's find out. He's a super rare guy. Doesn't look like it by the look of his goalies here. Afraid not. Oh, maybe he's never played. Maybe he played once. It's an interesting.
It's a weird gallery for sure.
Yeah, it is. So I don't know why. To be honest, I never really got into the following thing anyway. In fact, one person apparently is gone, so I don't know why I
It's
followed
it's
them in the first place.
it's
Oh, there
weird
you
to
are.
have
Your
that
hamburger.
they added that feature and then like you couldn't do anything with it for so long.
Oh, Uvaldo. I wonder who this is.
Hey, he was Lightning Bolt Club too.
That's right. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. Why is Nellis first? Because does he have the most followers? Probably.
Probably, yeah.
I know he did a whole thing of like, yeah, he's got 4,100. Is that good? I have 700. That seems fine.
I'll tell you one reason that the club badge things matter. Um, if you go back to the screen where you're following people on and you
Yeah.
scroll down just a little bit to Crypto Kicks, Shiler,
Yes.
um, he's coming in town for the St. Louis City game this weekend.
Yeah.
And I see that he has a sushi icon there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll recommend a hamburger place to upset him so that when we go out to eat, he can't have this sushi. No.
What if? Yeah. Yeah.
I found a use case.
Did you? Did you still even find one? I don't. Yeah, I don't get this. I didn't know that the Hall of Fame was used for this. Somebody in a Discord event shared this image like of theirs, and I actually thought it was lineups for this week. And then I was like, wait, nobody has lineups for this week. I was like, maybe it's last weekend, and then it were like super rares and limiteds together, and I was like, oh, it's the Halls of Fame, and I don't know. I don't know what else you'd show, but
Um,
I don't get it.
what time is the deadline right now? Looking at HG's
Move it to
team
5.
name.
It is now 3 p.m. for
So
him.
he wants it. He still wants it 2 hours later.
He does. Yep. Oh no, maybe no. It's 4 p.m. Excuse me, 4 p.m.
1 hour later, then.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm trying to catch up on the chat here. YNWA saying, I think in general, if it gives managers different decisions to make, then could be cool as long as they are not too OP. By using one, hopefully there might be a sacrifice that also has to be made. So like, I get that and I agree with it, but this also comes right after they introduced all of these new competitions. Like I find my lineup process now, like there are more decisions than ever.
Yeah.
And I really don't need any more. But maybe that's just me because I have a lot of cards.
I mean, if the decision is really out of all your lineups, you get one player that gets an extra 1%. I don't think that you honestly have a decision to make. It's going to be, what's my best lineup? Okay, I'll give the captain of that lineup the extra thing, and then you move on. I think it's not going to be rocket science.
Okay.
And then it'll be really easy for the small players because it's like they have 1, 2, 3 lineups. They just choose their best player that they own, and then we move on.
Yeah. I wonder. I mean, we'll find out. I was gonna say, like, I wonder how many coins we'll need to do this, or.
Yeah, the weird thing will be small players might be earning 2, 3, 400 so coins a game week, and then Mark will be earning 20,000 a game week. And how do you find the right, I don't know, balance to that?
So he said, what if the boost is that you can boost your cap 240 to be 242, but then you need to sacrifice 2 points from another cap team? So like that's exactly the kind of gameplay I don't want.
Yeah, that would be weird.
Because you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take all of my 270 and put it into 240. Well, I don't know what happened there. I don't know. Changing gameplay because of coins that are acquired because of how big your gallery is seems bad to me. Like that. That's how I'll put it. But if they're convinced that it's not too much of a separator, then we're fine. No big deal. How's that watermelon?
It's a hamburger.
Did you buy both?
No, I'm not a watermelon guy. I'm a hamburger guy.
Oh, okay. I think it would be fun if you could find out if you could like just go through and see who else had a hamburger.
Who are all the hamburger guys are? Like we'll have our own hamburger clan.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
It'll be like the guys that have SIT, the
I was
Italian
just about to
guys.
say you're going to get to the point where you're like, oh, a trade request. I'm like, oh shit, it's one of the hamburger guys. This is never getting done.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's what we should do. They should like watermelon just means like ETH only.
Mm-hmm.
But if you like have the hamburger, you're like, maybe I'll trade something.
Is this like one of those upside down pineapple type things?
What's an upside down pineapple thing?
Is that like a St. Louis thing or something?
I don't know.
It's like a thing to like tell people that you're a swinger. But people will be doing that on their Sorare accounts now.
Okay.
Huh, okay. Hey, we learned something new today, all right?
I guess we did. Well, you haven't yet.
Right.
I still have to bring something to the table here. Upside down pineapple. Where do you put? Yeah, I am interested.
I think that you're like supposed to put it outside of your house or something. I don't know.
Like a real.
I'm not into that. So I don't know all the details.
Yeah. That's fair.
But I think like people will like subtly have it. Yeah. People will subtly have it in places like they'll have like a watch on that has like a pineapple on it or something.
All right. Yeah. Like we said.
Or a T-shirt.
You think you're here
I don't
just
know. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I know all the details, but I don't really know.
Yeah.
But I agree with this point with from Mark. Bottom line is we've lost a lot of value to XP. I prefer they address this first. Ideally, swap to a loyalty bonus. Yeah, I agree with that. That like XP, it feels like they're lessening XP, but then also giving us an option to get more of it. I will say that this Hans Van Aken card that I got earlier this week, the 2018-19 one, it has been traded around so many times that it's currently on level 11, and it just feels so wrong that like I know that everything I do will be to get this card to level 20 as fast as possible. That's this card.
So when Mark says loyalty bonus, there was some cool stuff on the platform like initially that isn't here anymore. But if your card was the same, like still played for like if you had a Van Aken and a Bruges kit and he still plays for Bruges, he got a bonus. But if Van Aken transferred to, let's say, Standard Liège, then your Van Aken no longer gets that loyalty bonus of however many %. So it kind of like rewarded you for having the current season card and for having the player in the kit that he actually plays for. And then on top of that, you could do bonuses for cards that have never been transferred. So like if it's a quote unquote virgin card and like you're the first and only owner of that card, maybe there's like a 1% bonus on that card too or something subtle that helps a little bit but doesn't like break the game.
So my counter, I'm going to counter both of those.
Sure, yeah.
I think you should get the loyalty bonus if the player changes teams and you have the old bonus. Isn't that proving how loyal you are to the player, that even though they've moved, you still have the card? I don't know. And the other one was, what was the second point?
Virgin cards. Like you've never transferred them to anyone else.
So you already have that though, because you've been able to build the XP the entire time.
Oh, right. And it doesn't cut when you sell it.
Right.
That's fair. Yeah. That's fair. It's just instead of a negative. Yeah. Instead of a negative when you transfer it, it's just, Yeah.
I have seen so I've had a debate about whether this is something that would be positive or negative. And I know that there are people who think it's going to be positive and will mostly ignore the negative about it. But I think it was our friend Trip and B who brought this up, that he would like an indicator on our lineups if one of the cards in it was a reward. So you could see like if somebody is like competing with a lineup of all rewards. And who was it? It might have been one of Chani's recent videos. It was Haber. That's who it was. So Haber submitted a lineup that was like 5 rewards, and he was like, "Oh, that's really cool. I didn't realize that. Like, I won all these cards." And we don't know that like when we see. The problem is that when you see these like super lineups from some people, and it's like, "Oh, actually, these are all rewards. Sorry."
Yeah.
So like I get the positives and negatives of that, but I do think that like a lineup of virgin cards is like a cool thing to see, but like you don't know it. You're just like the person who like submitted the lineup theoretically knows. Like, but I think they'll surely have to come up with a better name for it. But I think that there is like a, one owner lineup that like they can celebrate that. And there's nothing like that right now.
What about players that are all virgins in your lineup?
Like Sorare managers, whoever? No. Surface said he'd like to spend his coins to buy a gallery filter that prevents any incoming offer that includes a card. Surface also just recently changed to Surface to Air Missile ETH only, or whatever it was. Just his club name, though, or not his Sorare.
It would be funny if there was like, if they allowed you to like buy like different things, like, oh, you can you can change your team name with a purchase. Like, yeah, it's 1,000 SO coins, but you can change your team name now, or your manager name, or whatever.
Baptiste said, "I'm start thinking like French people by being jealous of someone that succeeded." I don't know what that means. Service said the name change to ETH only made 0 difference.
I can't imagine it would.
Yeah. So Mark said, "I'd like to see loyalty to the manager, no XP whenever it's listed on the transfer market. That old loyalty you used in the Vanakin one, you said, didn't drive you to want the OG card." That's true. XP definitely did not get me to get that card. I just liked it. I'm a collector, really. That's all I'm here for.
Was that card owned by like one person, or was it passed around a few times?
It's been passed. It was a reward, not for me, obviously. This is actually, it had these weird like I don't know what's going on with that, but let me just pull it up myself on a site that makes it a little easier to see. But like I said, it's been around. And not really many names that I know. Oh, I guess Il Fenomeno.
Yeah. The original owner.
And frankly, all of these
MLBC.
were 2020 trades. Like it's been around. But I think it's a cool card.
Yeah, it really is. Hey, and 2 off from a jersey mint.
3 off from age mint.
Does that make it more valuable? Being like 1 off.
So. I wonder how many
jersey mint.
18, 19 there are.
Can't be that
many. How many do you think they minted that year?
30. I don't know.
35.
He absolutely smashed back then too. Like he was so good 2018 and 2019. And I think it helped too that like there wasn't a lot of leagues. So he was just the best player in the league.
And I mean, he's still good now, but like he's not this good. And I still wanted the card. It's just like, hey, I play Sorare. I know the history. I get it. Oh, I like this question. What do you think is the single worst thing that could be included in the update to bring us all crashing down? What is the potential buzzkill in the pre-announcement of an announcement?
I thought we already kind of went over that.
I guess we did a little bit.
I just think if they don't think things through clearly from like gameplay perspective, this cannot have too much of an effect on gameplay. I mean, whales are going to win a lot of so coins, and they got to be careful, and they have to make sure that it is equitable for large managers and small managers.
So, Jackoon said, "Can I spend coins to reduce Mark's Fnac and XP?" Could you imagine using XP to reduce someone else's XP? I mean, excuse me, using coins to reduce someone else's XP.
Mark would be totally screwed.
It would just straight zeros.
Yeah. Oh man.
For the record, I would not use my coins for that. I'd rather buy a watermelon. Yeah, I think this is exactly Service nails it here. This is what I think would be the worst. Boosts that move you up the leaderboard, and boosts for like additional XP is that. I'm just picturing the Rock meme here. Yeah, I think they should be completely separated from the game. Like you can earn them in the game, but being able to use them to make any part of the game different, which XP does, I think is bad. Like I think it's straight up bad.
Then, I mean, that almost brings the question, why do it?
For jerseys and skins.
Right. No, I mean, they're going to do boosts. If we're all saying don't do boosts if it has an effect on leaderboards, that's exactly what it's going to do. It's going to have effects on, even if it's a 1% bonus, it's going to affect what position you're in. So if everybody doesn't like that, don't do it.
If what?
If everybody doesn't want that, everybody doesn't like that, then we shouldn't do it.
We shouldn't do it, meaning like we shouldn't use them to use our coins for XP boost?
No. Sorare should not do it.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
The entire community does not want them to do it.
Yes. No, I think that's exactly. I don't think there will be enough of an outcry on it, but everyone knows that XP is important, particularly in limited, where like there are actually not nearly as many duplicate lineups as people think, but like XP matters when like every 100th of a point is separating us on the leaderboard, and you can just use coins because you have a ton of cards and you're just accumulating coins, and that moves you up. Like I don't like it. That's why.
Mark mentioned position modifiers. I think that's a resounding no.
Just I think the game itself works.
Yeah.
That's all.
I'm gonna put Oshiman in goal.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Goalkeeper Tadic.
Yeah.
He's not going to get any of that AA anymore, but if he has one of those games where he gets like 3 decisives, you're going to be in pretty good shape.
So Mark's saying, what are the boosts going to be? I think they're going to be XP boosts, and I think that's bad.
What if it's like, just you can flat buy 100 XP or something?
It's the same problem, like that people like Mark can buy a ton of XP, and now his cards are more powerful, having done nothing other than like just play the game, which you can argue like, yeah, good, no, they should do that. It's a loyalty bonus.
Right.
But yeah, I don't like it. I think it would be, for some reason, I think it's different, even though it's the same, if you could buy the ability to have more training teams, because that at least it's making you put in a little bit of effort.
Somebody's got to click the button, buy 100 XP, buy 100 XP, buy 100 XP over and over and over and over again. So that's
and decide where it goes.
Yeah.
I think they'll do that. That's the problem. Like, I think Sean will sit there all day and buy 100 XP for all of his cards because he knows how important it is. And I don't play unique 220, like I am going to get fewer coins.
And that is part of the gameplay loop that they have to avoid, because if I know Sean's going to do it, then I'm like, shit, I got to do it.
Yeah.
And then I'm sitting here buying all these stupid 100 XP boosts that realistically don't make much of a difference. But if I don't do it, then someone else is getting an edge. And now I have to do it.
It's exactly how I felt about card swaps, like reward swaps, where I'm like, I think it's really stupid that they do it. Like, I think they should not do it. And then I did it myself because I'm like, well, I'm competing against other people who are doing it. I'm not playing. I'm going to play by different rules for a card swap over morality.
100%.
It's not even a moral issue. But like, I have done card sales based on morality, but I probably could have won a lot more had I not done it. But the Sebastian Villa conversations for another time. Joe Ducey said, I hate how much I feel like Sorare has devalued XP in the past year. I wouldn't have held nearly as many cards and trained them so religiously now. I think that's pretty common for people who at least like built the XP up. But I don't think now just being like, oh, just buy some more, you'll be fine.
I think part of it is kind of perceived devalued, because it still matters in all-star divisions and regionals. I get cap mode, it's not there, but would you feel differently if they said you had to score 260 points and now XP counted? Like,
yes, I would.
And that's just, it's funny to me, but then maybe they should just do that to make people feel like XP is not being devalued. Or they should have done that in the first place. I don't know.
It just seemed really weird to me. And actually, the real kick in the teeth was this PSV contest where the season bonus counts, but XP doesn't. And it's like, come on.
Yeah. You can only use, realistically, I shouldn't say realistically, you can only use the new season cards, but you know, if you have the new season cards, you got a nice little edge there.
Right. Sorry for holding that PSV card for 3 years.
Yeah. I bet you're a mega fan because you held it for 3 years. I don't know.
Oh, I think you're talking about Sorare Mega.
No, I'll bet you're a huge PSV fan because you've owned that card for 3 years. Here's your reward: 0 XP or zero bonus.
But that is the issue. Like, you get 0.
Right.
It's not like you get what you get, and they also get 0. Whatever. You got anything else?
I don't think so. Just to wrap it up, I'm excited for the club shop. I think that there's a lot of cool stuff coming, like upside down pineapples and other things, jerseys. But I just hope that they're really careful about the gameplay mechanics and think it through and don't break this game.
I think that's exactly the point. Like, please don't break the game, because it felt like when they did the scoring matrix change, they're like, yeah, nothing's really changing. And then we saw some players who really changed. And
did we?
We did. Just because Trent Alexander-Arnold didn't change, that doesn't mean not everybody changed. Go look up John Tolkien.
Well, did they change though because they changed? Like, they became a better player around the same time? Like, it.
No.
Who are we talking about then? Tadic?
John Tolkien.
John Tolkien?
Or I don't know, any of these. Douglas Santos.
Everybody said Trent was going to be the game breaker. People were selling their galleries over Trent being the most game breaking player in the universe. And guess what?
He stepped back. That's all. I'm not going to blame Sorare for Trent's play. That's all. Thank you to everybody for joining us. If you haven't hit the like button, which looks like a lot of you haven't, just saying, please do so. If you have not subscribed to the channel, you can do that as well. Just gets the video in front of more people, which makes us, more likely to make more content. Obviously, it's how it works. So yeah, thank you everybody for joining us. I'll be back next week with Sean. Oh, I'll be back tomorrow for rabbit hunting. just a warning. I'm pretty sure no card combination would have won me even a tier 3 limited this week. So it might be a pretty quick show. Although somebody did DM me today asking basically how I ended up at Sorare Data. And if my lineups turn out to be so bad, I might talk about that. So if that's of any interest to you, come join. And then, yeah, like I said, Sorare Data strategy show, football strategy show next week, along with NBA. Andy and I will be back as well. So, yeah, good luck with all of your achievements or your upside down pineapples, and we'll see.